We serve clients across a variety of industries, so it'd be medical, legal, municipal, manufacturing, all sorts of things. So we've really seen it all. All of these different industries have different threat environments, different security requirements, so we stay on top of all of that stuff in order to have our clients protected. When it comes to cybersecurity, I'd say within maybe the last year, even the last 6 months, the threat environment has gotten really, really severe. It tends to be the thoughts of small business owners especially that, I'm not important enough to be targeted, but that's really not the case now. The two key elements to protection for IT is technical safeguards, and there's also a human element as well. And as far as technical safeguards, those are things like your firewall, antivirus software, security updates for your operating systems and whatnot. And then the human element is your user training and how to get your staff to recognize what a potential threat is and how to respond to it. So when it comes to equipment, there's two really broad classes of equipment, and that would be consumer grade versus business grade. Consumer grade is the kind of stuff that you find off the shelf at Best Buy and places like that, where you can just pick it up and install it. That stuff is geared toward home use, and it's not designed to provide the necessary protections for a business. A lot of times, especially with startups, they'll go and grab what they need to get going, but that's not a good long-term solution. You really want business-grade equipment that has business-grade protections in it. Technical safeguards are not 100% effective. In a perfect world, they would be, but it's not a perfect world. So we try to get the best products that have the best chance of defense, but there's always a chance that something brand new or never seen before will slip by. As a result of that, you really need to stay on top of it. You need to stay on top of your security updates and whatnot, and you need to stay on top of your user training so that they recognize those threats. The human element is important because no matter how good your technical safeguards are, they can be bypassed by human interaction, either by following the instructions of a malicious actor that is called in, or clicking on a malicious link or something like that. So it's very important for your users to be able to identify things like that and take the correct action. Well, some industries have a training requirement. For example, medical, in order to comply with HIPAA, they need to do periodic user training. So that's sometimes on a biannual or annual basis. But even most industries, I'd say even on an annual basis, just call everybody in, make it like a company lunch or something like that, and as they're eating lunch, we could do a 30-minute to an hour-long presentation, just going over some key examples. When we do training for our clients, we'll often have examples of real-world attacks that have come in, and we point out to them, how do you tell if something's legitimate or fraudulent? Well, there are often signs, so we can help train people to be able to recognize that stuff. But typically, if something comes in and it's a request for transfer of assets or protected information or something like that, and there's any doubt whatsoever that may or may not be legitimate, we always advise them to just pick up the phone and call the person in question and say, hey, did you really send this? As a local IT provider, we are supremely focused on security, and we have the technical staff and expertise needed to address all of those needs.